Anytime Ketu is in operation or creating joblessness, amount for Juma in 2023 no massive. Amount for Juma be Gubasa within 2023. Juma be Guafi we the whole world. People will lose their jobs because Ketu will make sure people become jobless. Anytime Ketu is in operation or creating joblessness and loss of reputation. It means that this year, amount for be lose job basa. Anytime Ketu is in position or induce joblessness, I feel amount for be create juma will be say create or induce joblessness and loss of reputation. So amount for any money be form na amount for be create juma no. Anytime Ketu is in operation, this thing happens. So like I'm saying, this year the level of joblessness I be experiencing in the world and being seen that anytime Ketu is in operation or induce joblessness and loss of reputation, Ketu no or induce joblessness this year, amount for mbeshiro majuman we mbesho. Three now, anytime Ketu is in operation or induce joblessness this year, amount for mbeshiro majuma being seen that anytime Ketu is in operation or induce joblessness. This year, among from
We'll start with the latest round of job cuts in the tech industry. Google's parent Alphabet says it's letting 12,000 people go from its teams around the world.
Good morning. Yes, so Coinbase is cutting about a fifth of its workforce, blaming the crypto market downturn and broader macro environment. In a blog post just out in the last 20 minutes or so, the crypto exchange says it now plans to cut 950 jobs. It's the second major round of layoffs for Coinbase after slashing 18% of its workforce.
Layoffs taking place in Oklahoma's healthcare industry.
In the past week, two of Oklahoma City's largest providers, Integris and OU Health, have said they're cutting jobs.
Big tech layoffs rolling in. Spotify, the latest to tighten its belt, with plans to cut 6% of its employees. The CEO had this to say: an effort to drive more efficiency, control costs and speed up decision making. The move follows Meta slashing 13% of the workforce, 10% at Salesforce, 6% at Alphabet, 5% at Microsoft, totaling more than 44,000 jobs cuts among the 5 companies. And Katie Lyons, you wonder how much work Amazon's got to do, even with its recent announcement.
Now to that announcement from Google this morning. The tech giant planning to slash 12,000 jobs just days after Microsoft made its own cuts.
Microsoft said it would be laying off 10,000 of its employees as well, and the companies join a number of others in their industry, including Facebook parent Meta, Netflix, Tesla, and Amazon.
Amit Bhasin, the co-founder of startup Go Mechanic, has admitted to financial reporting errors. Go Mechanic manipulated its financial records by exaggerating revenues after it secured a massive $42 million funds 2 years ago. According to media reports, as a result, investors ordered a forensic audit and a business restructuring, which will result in the firing of 70% of the company's 1,000 employees.
Twitter, Facebook owner Meta, now Amazon. The big tech job cuts continue. The e-commerce giants confirmed it's axing 18,000 jobs this month. During the pandemic, all the tech giants were clear winners. They went on a hiring spree, but they're now having to cut back.
18,000 is by far the largest jobs to be axed, and a lot more than what many had expected when Amazon started letting go of some staff back in November. It's about 6% of the company's workforce, and those affected will start getting notified starting on the 18th of January.
We do want to begin tonight with those major layoffs in Silicon Valley. Google's parent company, Alphabet, announcing today it will cut 12,000 positions. That is 6% of its workforce. The tech giant's biggest ever round of layoffs come during the same week that Microsoft and Amazon also announced job cuts. Nationwide, companies are cost-cutting amid concern about a slowing economy and pending recession.
Moving on now, thousands of laid-off Indian professionals working in the United States who lost their jobs as a result of recent job cuts at big tech firms like Google, Microsoft, Meta and Amazon are now battling to find new jobs within the time frame allowed by the work visas.
Another leading tech giant is laying off its employees in large numbers. Microsoft has announced it will cut 10,000 jobs this year. Some roles are expected to be eliminated in human resources and engineering divisions. The layoffs would be the latest in the U.S. technology sector. Companies such as Amazon and Meta have already announced retrenchment exercises in response to slowing demand and a worsening global economic outlook.
Begin today with our top story, layoffs mounting in big tech. Spotify announced it will lay off 6% of its workforce in a bid to bolster sagging profit margins and, well, make money. This move comes after the company laid off 38 people in October at its podcast division. The music streaming giant joins a slew of tech companies led by Microsoft and Salesforce, announcing layoffs to cut costs.
Moving on now, in a move that may impact 1,200 more jobs, e-commerce major Amazon plans to shut 3 warehouses in Britain. The move could be the result of lackluster sales performance in some markets during the festive season. However, workers will be given the chance to transfer to other units. The company has opened a consultation to close 3 older British warehouses this year in Hamel, Hampstead, Doncaster and Warrock sites, employing 1,200 employees in one of Amazon's biggest markets outside the United States. The e-commerce major had earlier announced this month that it wants to shed 18,000 roles globally. Bracing for slower growth as consumer and business cut spending as a result of high inflation. However, the plans to shut 3 more warehouses impacting 1,200 jobs is not part of this restructuring
Amazon
plan.
has started to lay off staff in India just days after a CEO, Andy Jassy, announced worldwide job cuts.
As the British telecoms group Vodafone seeks to rein in costs and revive its lagging performance, the company is now planning to make its biggest round of job cuts in 5 years. Reports say that the company is looking to shed several hundred jobs, most of which located at its London headquarters. Vodafone said in November that it would cut over $1 billion of costs by 2026 after it announced that the group profits had slipped in the first half of the year. Vodafone employs about 104,000 people globally and 9,400 people in the UK alone.
It's announcing plans to lay off more than 18,000 workers.
Has now laid off dozens of staff from its trust and safety team, which handled the global content moderation. The cuts were also made in the hate speech and the harassment unit. According to reports, workers from the company's Dublin and Singapore offices were affected, including the head of site integrity for Twitter's Asia Pacific region and also Twitter's senior director of revenue policy.